I picked up these dandelion greens, and if anyone's ever seen them in the store and gone like, huh, what? Or, you know, or tried them outside in your yard, no, they're super bitter. But that's okay, because I like bitter things, but I like bitter things that aren't bitter alone. They have to have something else going on. So I have a few things I'm going to throw together here. First of all, I'm going to toast up some walnuts, right? Oh, the walnuts will kind of calm down that bitter flavor a little because it's got a like sort of creaminess, a nuttiness, and meatiness. And I also put together some strawberries, and I have drizzled them with a little balsamic glaze. So shout out to Bertolli, because this balsamic glaze is really good. I'm gonna mash that up a little bit with a tiny bit of salt, and I'm gonna macerate it. I think that's what they call it. We sound so naughty. I'm macerating my strawberries right now. All right, I'm just gonna kind of let them sit there. And then I've actually chopped up some old-timey foods that maybe we pass by all the time. They're called dates. Dates, you know, like I met this guy once who was 100 years old when I was 3. And he said, hey, you want a date? And I thought that was so funny. And he had an old jar of like dusty dates, and he gave me one, and I had to eat it, and I was like, well, I didn't have to, but I did. And I thought, it's not bad, but it's dusty. Well, it's not dusty. And really, really sweet and really good for you. So I'm actually going to throw a few of those in with those strawberries, mix that up. I'm going to take a look at my walnuts. You know, I'm really just trying to, I'm sure you've heard this before, release those oils a little bit. And heads up, I'm just a home cook. But I come from a long line of restaurateurs. In fact, my brother just closed his restaurant after having it open for 40-something years. McLeod's in Bucksport. Shout out to McLeod's in Bucksport. My grandmother had a restaurant called Yield House in Bangor, Maine. And she was always making things, you know, out of nothing. That was her thing. My mother said she could make a casserole out of absolutely nothing, and it was true. So what I did was I diced up a little red onion. The red onion has a little sweetness to it. And I'm actually also going to put that in with the strawberries. I love when people say strawberries like that. Actually, I don't like when people say strawberries like that. So I'm going to mixing these all up like that. And now I'm going to use some of this olive oil, which is very dear to me because it's actually from my husband's family's olive grove in Italy. And we only have a little bit of it left. I'm using it on an experimental recipe, so I will eat it, and I'm sure it'll be just fine. All right, so now I think that's good with those there walnuts. I'll let them cool down a bit, and I'm going to start to assemble my salad. There is a special ingredient coming up here that's going to make it all worthwhile too. Okay, so I'm going to kind of tear these apart. I actually washed these. I triple washed them because they did have a bit of sand in them, which is fine, but I really, really washed. So here we go. And if you like that, like that, like that, like that, like that, like that. And if you guys have any recipes that star dandelion greens, please let me know, because I'd be really interested. I'm really trying to get out of my food rut that I've been in recently, because in Maine, in New England, we haven't really had a summer that starts, and I depend on summer as my weight management tool because I get like less sleepy and sad because there's sun outside, and I always lose about 10 to 15 pounds, but that's not happening this year because it's been nothing but rain. Rain, rain, rain. All right, so I'm throwing those in there. And I'm also throwing some of these. Oh, actually, I grew these in my garden. Don't be too impressed because I barely grow anything in my garden. But I did manage to get some strawberries, mainly because I didn't know they were there. I put them in a couple years ago, and if I had known that they were there, they wouldn't be there because I'd fuss over them. Okay, so here is the last ingredient, which is feta cheese. And I did wash my hands thoroughly. And I'm just crumbling that up like that. And I'm going to toss that together like that. Actually, I could use some more of those dandelion greens. And what do you think? You think that there's an ingredient that I should have used? Because, see, that balsamic glaze is super sweet. And so obviously are the strawberries. So I'm going to now taste it. And I'll tell you right now, I'm going to tell you the truth. Does this suck? Or is it delicious? You can vote. Vote. Tell me what you think, okay? 1, 2, 3. It's actually really good. Let me tell you something. That's like a $15 salad at some fancy restaurant. You've got the goat cheese, again, strawberries, red onion, dates, surprising ingredient that really works, and toasted walnuts. Feta cheese, did I say shout out to Bertolli and the Jones family olive vineyard. It's not a vineyard, no, whatever it is, grove. That's a damn good salad. Maybe I'll do this again. Bye.